This is based on a true story. I just got the new Pokemon Y game for Christmas. It had already been out for a while, but I finally got to play it. It took me like 2 or 3 months to beat Victory Road, so I started getting into the competitive side of Pokemon. I was trying to find the perfect stats and all the Pokemon I would need to breed, and get the right natures for all of them. After that was done, I needed to train them, super train them, so they would have the right stats I needed when I leveled them up. Once I got the right stats I wanted, I proceeded to level them up by beating the final 4 over and over again. It took forever, but I hate cheating. I learned about Pokemiles, and you can exchange them for rare candy. So I figured out that I can get more Pokemiles by just doing Wonder Trade over and over again. So I did that for a long time, and I got all sorts of kinds of Pokemon, and then just by my luck, I got an Arcanine from the first generation. I never got to play the first generation when it came out, but I was super happy to get it, because it looked like a sweet Pokemon. He was level 1, and his nature was serious, and it said he was found and hatched on September 5th, 2014. What, 2014? Of September? It was only March 21st, 2014. That hadn't happened yet. How is this possible, I thought. I figured it was nothing. Someone probably put the wrong year into their DS when they hatched the Pokemon, and it made the time mess up on the Pokemon for some reason. But I was just happy to have it. Also, I liked it because it was like the first kind of weird thing that's ever happened to me in Pokemon. Like, I was never there for the Missing Note because I never got to play the first one, and I never heard the Lavender Town music until now. And I've never even caught a shiny Pokemon in the wild before. So it was sweet that I got an Arcanine, and he was Generation 1, and that he was supposed to be a legendary Pokemon, I heard somewhere, and he just never was made into one. So I proceeded to breed him until I got the right natured Pokemon I needed to make more, and then get the perfect stats, and then just repeat the process over again. And I kept doing it, and I just so happened to breed a shiny Pokemon. This has never happened to me before. This is crazy. I just happened to get a shiny Pokemon of my new favorite Pokemon. It was a girl, so I called her Gem. And now I was ready for a competitive battle, with her at the front of my team. I felt like it didn't matter if we won or we were the best. I had something that no one else had. I had a rare, unique Pokemon. I finally felt like I was part of the Pokemon world. These were the funnest times I've ever had playing Pokemon, and this went on like this for months. Making memories, going on adventures, having epic battles. Months went by like this, and I almost forgot about the strange Pokemon with the mixed up date. Until Gem started acting weird in a battle one day. You know how Pokemon act weird when they're level 50 and you haven't even beat the first gym yet? They won't obey you, they won't listen, because you don't have the skills to train them. I thought maybe this was because her happiness level was low or something, why she wouldn't obey me. So I went to go check it, but I just did it last week, so it should still be pretty good. I went to check it, and the food was still 100, and the love for the trainer was still 100, but the happiness was 0. I didn't even know if that was possible. I went to play with her and pet her, and nothing would make her happy. Everything would just make her mad. I tried to smile at her, and she would just cry. And then I thought maybe this is like an infection, like Pokerez, and maybe Game Freak added some new effect to it or something. Maybe that's why she was able to level up so fast. So I went to go check her stats, and I noticed it said her nature was scared. I didn't even think that was a nature, but I didn't think much of it at the time. I let her rest, and I didn't play my game for like a week, but when I went back it said she had a battle effect. SLP. I didn't know what that meant, so I went to the Pokemon Center to heal her, and then I went straight into battle to see if it fixed it. When I got into battle, Gem was still asleep, it said. Oh, SLP. That must meant sleep. So I waited for like 10 turns for her to wake up, and I tried every potion I could think of, and nothing had any effect, and she never woke up. I had no idea what was wrong. I needed Gem on my team. I tried everything from moo milk to water to wake her up, but nothing worked. It kept saying, no effect. I even tried letting her loose, letting her faint, and then healing her, and it didn't do anything. Nothing worked. I had no idea what was wrong. I tried playing with her, and She just laid there, on the ground, almost lifeless like. But I could see barely that she was breathing. But she wouldn't wake up. No combination of petting her or feeding her would even make her move. I had no idea what to do. I didn't even want to play Pokemon anymore. But my friend kept begging me to battle with him. So, since I was used to using Arcanine in my lineup, I decided to train a different one and breed it. But I looked in the box, and they all said the same effect, SLP. Then I thought, what was the Pokemon I got that I bred them all with? So I went to go check the box, where I put the Pokemon with the missing year, and its nature changed. It said evil. I didn't think that was a nature, but he was still fine for some reason, and he didn't even have like Pokereds or anything, so I didn't know why all his like descendants were having problems. And I checked the date. The date it was supposed to be he was supposed to be hatched was tomorrow. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I figured it was his fault. So I tried to release him right away and get rid of him, and it said, you can't release a legendary Pokemon. Then I froze. There's no way this is a legendary Pokemon. But the message kept popping up, and it kept saying, you can't release a legendary Pokemon. I thought maybe this is the Generation 1 Pokemon that was supposed to be legendary. Like, that was a crazy idea. But maybe, like, somehow lost in the codes or something, I got the original legendary Pokemon that was supposed to be in Generation 1. So I figured I'll use him, just since he's the only one I can use. So I leveled him up to level 50 and put him at the back of my team for the battle with my friend. The battle started and went on pretty well, and I was down to my Jolteon and Arcanine. But he only had one left, so I figured I had him on the ropes. His last Pokemon he sends in is an Arcanine. Then, without warning, my Jolteon uses Volt Switch. I was going to do that anyway, but I didn't remember pushing it. Anyway, my Arcanine came in and uses Crunch, and it made him faint. One hit, I won, he did his job, and I got to say my Arcanine was better than his. The next day, I was worried and curious what would happen on the day Arcanine was supposed to be hatched. I waited all day, kept checking on him, looking at his stats, nothing would happen. I almost gave up when my friend angrily called me, saying I stole his Arcanine last night. I swore